This is a Headgum podcast.
In college was my big thinking about death.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
And I think if I could go back, the only advice I'd give to myself would be blah, 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 blah. Stop thinking about it. Truly.
All that racist stuff you said, we're going to cut that. Don't worry.
Okay. But I meant it.
Okay. You're in LA, Gianmarco.
And leaving tonight.
What? Okay, what do you mean? You're done with the lease?
Yeah, we did the winter. We did December to now.
Whoa, you did December to now? Mm-hmm. I did not realize it was that long.
Yeah, but I'm back and forth. I was in New York a little. I don't live anywhere. I live an unmoored existence.
Don't you get tired of that?
It's brutal. It's having deep impacts on my health, my psyche.
You gonna stop soon?
I know. Here's the thing: if I plan so far ahead, so when I see the warning signs,
yeah,
I go, okay, 8 months from now, we got to make some changes.
Yeah,
but it's already set. I can't cancel.
That isn't, man.
How you been enjoying the touring life? You've been touring.
I'm about to move to the woods.
Yeah,
I'm about to move to the woods and start making folk music.
But you go back and forth. You go through these phases where you go, I'm going to go away, and then you come back to the heart of all of it.
Yeah, New York City. Is that what you mean?
New York City or LA. You go to your home in Kansas.
Not often, but yeah.
Yeah. But that's how you find your balance. You go
I do, yeah. Well, yeah, I think I need to have nothing. You know what my ideal life is? Nothing is ever on my calendar. Ever. Not a single thing. I wake up and I go, today I think I'd like to do a show in Connecticut.
What is that? You see, I understand that's your persona. I do.
No, I'm being dead serious.
How many podcast tapes are you doing today?
Today, just two. Yes.
So you filled your you fill your calendar.
Gianmarco,
you could live this life that you theorize about.
I need money. This is my job.
In Kansas City, you could retire today and be the wealthiest person in Kansas City.
You underestimate. There's a lot of billionaires in Kansas City.
Are there really?
There's at least a couple.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? Last time that Devin Walker and a bunch of my buddies, comedian buddies, were in town for this charity thing, they were all hanging out at one of the billionaires' houses because he throws this big party.
Sure.
And they're like, dude, you got to come. I was like, I have absolutely no desire to be in that house.
Sure.
I'm scared to be in a billionaire in Kansas City's house. It's just different. It's different to me. Because, a billionaire in New York or LA, they have, of course, a gorgeous home. In Kansas City, an estate is $900,000.
Yeah.
Are you scared of rich people?
I feel like I came from enough money that I see them for what they are, but I don't know billionaires. Upper middle class people.
Yeah.
I understand them. Billionaires. Just stay away from them.
I don't think I knew an upper middle class person until college.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think I knew one. Because, I guess maybe there were some people with a little bit of money in my town, but you never really know where I'm from. It's based on how much acreage they have. You go, how many acres you got out there?
Sure. My dad had 7 acres.
See, that's not a lot. Where I'm from.
Sure.
But where you're from, it is.
Potomac, Maryland.
Yeah, that's a lot over there.
Yeah.
But in Missouri, 7 acres is oh.
I think I grew up in a way that I know how miserable you can be even with money, how you can isolate yourself.
Yeah.
How you get a pool.
Yeah.
You get your own pool.
Yeah.
And that means you have no one to swim with.
Yeah.
And when you drown, no one's there to save you. And that's what they're striving for. And I go, you are working against your own interests and you don't see it.
Yeah.
Go to a community pool. It's more fun.
Well, you lost me on community pool.
You did. You're good at having parties, I guess, and friends over.
I have friends to swim with.
Yeah, but not everyone's.
Gianmarco has friends to swim with.
Not really.
Gianmarco has friends to swim with.
Tova's taught me how to have friends over. I get nervous. I go, this is a burden to make them come here.
No, it's nice. They like it, the friends.
I guess
When
so.
are you going to marry that girl?
Listen, I just had I had Robbie Hoffman on my podcast, and I almost didn't release it. That was the whole episode was all about marriage.
Well, okay, so you don't want to talk about that. What about kids?
Kids, sure, we could talk about kids. People say to me, they go, oh, you're good with kids. And I go, that's nice.
Yeah.
But I haven't been around them enough to I need to be with people when they're with their kids and they're having a bad day. I always see the good view of it. I go over for dinner.
Yeah.
And in New York, a lot of my friends don't have kids.
Yeah.
I need to witness it when it's a burden, when they need to leave the party early because of the kids. And I can really go, okay, am I ready for that?
Yeah.
What kind of temper do you think you'd have? Because that's when you have kids, you start to see, like, you know, your real flaws.
Well, you start to
emerge.
see your dad.
Yeah.
My dad is within me.
And what was your dad's anger like?
My dad was almost 98% rage.
Rage. So we're talking like yelling?
Oh, my
cursing?
dad yelling,
'Cause my dad's a
cursing.
cursor and a screamer and
Oh, screaming about every little thing. And my dad had a big, powerful voice, and my dad was really smart. So
Yeah.
you just, when he yelled at you, you just felt so. My dad was a yeller and a real angry guy.
Now how, because with me and my dad, he would yell and then I'd yell louder and then he'd yell like the primordial?
Yeah.
Like something deep.
Yeah.
And I couldn't match. And I'd cry.
Yeah.
And then we'd hug.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was the journey.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's what would happen if I was a parent.
Dude, I think
that's what I worry. I'm loud. I don't think he was never physical. He never hit. But I don't know. He hit on the inside.
yeah, he hit with his words.
He did.
Decibel punches.
My stepdad, he never did it to me, but with my sisters, he would do present your hand. They present their hand.
Pardon? Hold on. He said present your hand?
Present your hand.
This Hannibal Lecter ass bitch. What are you talking about?
Present your hand. And then he would, it wasn't like a slap that really hurt. It really was about the shame, but he would do like a.
Wait, is he still with your mom?
No.
You got to get her out of there. This man, is he alive?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to kill him. That is crazy. Present your hand and then he taps it?
Yeah.
What a freak. You don't find that so freaky?
There's worse. Things could be worse.
I'm not saying there's not worse. There's totally worse. That's some freaky shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
This guy is not right.
I'm sure it's better than whatever his dad did. I mean,
that's the thing, isn't it?
my mom once, like, she was mad at me, like, way too late in life, like, tried to give me a spank, like a punishing spank, and we both burst into laughter. It was so pathetic.
Yeah.
It was so meaningless.
Yeah. Wait, I think I was maybe 17 when I put together the thing you said about it was probably better than what his dad did. My dad was real bad for him, and I was like 17 when I figured that out, and then I had that really horrible moment of like empathy for him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where I was like, oh God, now I feel bad for you.
Yeah. Did you know your grandfather?
No.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Died before I was born, I think.
Yeah. Mine definitely died, but I don't think he was in the picture regardless.
Yeah.
But having to have empathy for someone who gets on your nerves so bad is really, like, finding out your dad contains multitudes is so sad.
It's brutal.
It's like, oh God, now I'm like picturing you as a kid and I'm sad. Ugh.
I know.
It was easier to just hate you. It was easier when I was just mad at you. Now I'm like empathizing with
at
you.
least yours isn't still around. I got to deal with it every fucking day.
Well, your dad
I
will
have to
die
see
someday.
him in a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he-
I'm scared.
You think he's gonna yell?
No, that's what's sad is you hit an age where you're like, now I know he couldn't yell louder than me.
Yeah.
Or he'd die.
Yeah.
So there's like, it's just a feeling of, now I just have to hold it back.
Yeah.
I have to continue to let him, win.
Really?
I don't know. His anger has really, he's 72 now.
Yeah.
So his anger's
God
really.
damn, he's old.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm 36. He didn't have me that late. He had me at 35.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Well, where I'm from, everyone has kids at like 19, so
Sure.
it starts to feel a little different.
Yeah.
It's like a 20-year difference. My mom's 51.
That's good.
It's young,
That is young.
but that's your dad. Your dad could be my mom's dad.
Sure. My dad could be your mom's dad. Yeah. In Kansas, sure. In some universe.
In some, well, in
and
the
that would
Midwest.
make you my.
Hold on.
It would.
Your dad.
It would make you my half brother. No. God, no. My
mom would
dad's
be your sibling.
mom's dad.
So I would be your nephew.
You'd be my nephew.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That'd be a fun dynamic.
I'd have to take you for a walk. You'd be like left is right. I'd be like,
We'd be
please.
like that music duo. LMFAO.
LMFAO. Yeah. We'd also go into music in this full scenario.
We'd be like that music duo. LMFAO. Me and you. Well, wait, what were we talking about? Oh, dads. I don't want to talk about that anymore. What else is going on with you?
Sure.
Do you think you'd be
talk about dads all day?
You think you'd be? I know parent stuff is.
You're talking about me being dad. I mean, we're talking about you. You really think you think you're gonna have kids?
Well, I thought for a long time, and now I'm like on the fence about it. I guess it depends on what happens in my love life. If my love life goes a certain way, maybe if I settle down with a guy who really wants kids, I do it. And
Do it
maybe
alone.
kids alone.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious,
It would be.
but I don't think good.
Not necessarily bad.
I'm
Who's doing a great job?
of parenting.
Yeah. Very few.
Sabrina Jalise and her wife Shauna.
One.
Who else is doing a good job parenting? The Cosbys in the show.
In the show.
yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, in the show. The Connors.
I was thinking about, you know, that Cosby guy who works at Trader Joe's?
Yeah,
And they always do articles about him and like, oh, he used to do this and I works at Trader Joe's. I think about being the person who has to work next to him.
yeah.
And every day someone comes in with a camera crew to show how far his life has fallen. And you're like, oh, I was excited to get this job.
Yeah. This is a
gotta
good
suck.
job.
It's a great job.
Trader Joe's scares the hell out of me. I don't like going in there.
They talk, they want to have some of the conversations that I just don't know. Where they'll be like, oh, this bar, this is pretty good. You try the blueberry?
The food is 3D printed. The people in there, I don't like the Hawaiian motif. I don't. The friendliness feels forced, and I like friendliness.
Yeah.
But if to me, Trader Joe's is a very dark space.
All the Trader Joe's, it's just, I've lost the ability, like all the meals are pre-prepared and whatever. So now when I go to a regular grocery store, I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's like if I went to a furniture store and it was just 2x4s. Yeah. And I'm like, how do they go together?
I'm gonna put this together. What, at my house? This makes no sense to me. Someone should do this for me. Yeah, I don't like that everything in Trader Joe's is fake food. There's no real it doesn't make any sense. You have to go to another grocery store to get the shit you actually eat. It's like novelty. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it scares me. I'm actually getting upset talking about it.
Sure.
Trader Joe's.
No dads, no Trader Joe's.
Parking lots. No, I want to talk about it. The parking lots are horrible. The uniforms don't make sense.
What are the uniforms?
The like Hawaiian shirts.
Oh yeah.
Ick.
Yeah, it feels like it should be good in theory. It's kind of like a commune. Like there's a feeling of like community, but you're not. I'm like, I don't want to be part of this.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Commune, you in?
I've always thought I would want to be
Yeah?
like an artist. I always have my fantasies like, because I didn't grow up with neighbors or family or community. It's like we all live in a big complex and we all have our own spaces.
Yeah.
But the kitchen area, it's very communal.
Well, you know
that
what you
is kind
need.
of my fantasy.
Well, I'll tell you about my commune idea.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, get a big plot of land, maybe 15, 20 acres.
Okay.
Outside of a city that we all love. Maybe Kansas City. Or whatever works. But you get a big plot of land, and then everyone gets their own individual dwelling, of course. You get your own house, you get your own golf cart or gator. I'm going gator. You get your own little vehicle to drive around the property. And then everyone just get your own stuff. It's not shared wealth kind of thing. But then we all go in on a communal building, like a Morton building. And that's where there's like a big dining table, a big, like huge, mini couches, screening area to watch movies and stuff together.
Yeah.
There's like board games, there's everything. Communal building for everyone to hang out when you want to. And then when you don't, back to your house.
Sure.
Tell me that's not perfect.
You have the means.
Maybe we have some shared set of values.
Would you let the power go to your head? Would you end up being like, because you could be a cult leader.
Totally.
You have the DNA. You could. You have the confidence, the ability to speak.
Would you join?
No,
Not at all?
I'd visit. I'd stop by. I'd say, oh, what a nice
That's how it
cult.
starts. That's how it starts.
No, I could never. I've had
What?
like those. I've had enough like teachers who were like cult-like. At growing up, you know, like I had a voice teacher who like I admired, like I thought she had all the answers.
Yeah.
And I was spurned.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I got it out of my system. I no longer could believe that someone has the answers.
I don't need you to believe that I have all the answers, Gianmarco. I would never espouse to. Maybe we all have the answers together at my commune.
I can't. I'm not susceptible to it.
I don't desire a cult. Do I think if I ended up in a cult situation on accident that I would take advantage of it and let it go to my head? No.
Yeah.
No, I think if anything, I'd be uncomfortable with it. I think once I realize, because what would happen is I would be trying to do commune, normal style. Everyone has
Normal
autonomy.
style.
Everyone has autonomy. No one's getting any weird culty vibes. And then the day that I figured out, like, oh no, everyone's looking to me as dear leader, I think that day I would go, oh, what have I done?
Sure.
Now we're in it.
Yeah.
You know?
But the power you'd feel.
I guess, but I think power is just a lot of responsibility. Don't you just kind of want to be left alone?
Sometimes, but then sometimes you want everyone to look at you while you speak on an elevated stage.
Yeah.
Well amplified.
You do that every once in a while because you have to. But yeah, I don't think. But that's the thing, though. The stage is such a specific thing. You don't want it at dinner.
Sure, that would feel stressful.
You don't want it in your house. It's like at work. Sure, everyone looks at you. Everyone claps. They have to clap, or else it's bad. They have to laugh really loud, or else you fail. That's fun work.
I'm sure that's why most cults end with them trying to get everyone to kill themselves. They're like, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah,
this
you
is
think?
Too much stress.
They're like, let's just.
Aliens are coming. We got to kill ourselves.
Do you think you'd be a good cult leader?
No, I'm far too insecure. I have flashes of, I got it. And then moments where I would turn to them and be like, do you think this is what God wants?
Do you guys like my interpretation of God?
Do you think we should poison ourselves? And that's when it would all crumble. I don't have that, yeah.
Sure.
If I had a partner, I think you see The Master?
Yeah.
I think the partnership that L. Ron Hubbard had with his partner, I think Tova and I kind of have that dynamic.
You and Tova definitely have a partners in a cult leader dynamic.
Yeah, we could be a cult. We could be in a cult thing, and I'd be the cult leader, but it would be her.
Sometimes I shudder thinking about your guys' private conversations. Sometimes I just think, because Tova, I can't get her. I called her the other day. For those, the uninitiated, Tova is my manager in show business and also Gianmarco's girlfriend, in that order. And I called Tova the other day about a problem, not an urgent one, just something I needed sorted. She answers me, loudest place I've ever heard. I go, where are you? She goes, I'm at a bachelorette party, but I can talk. What's up? I go, hang up the phone. I'm going to call someone else. There's other people that work on this stuff. She goes, no, I can talk. What's up? I go, goodbye. This is a person who I think about that level of commitment to work and then your level of commitment to work and how much you guys love talking about comedy. And I just think about your pillow talk sometimes and I go, man, it might scare me.
Well, yeah, we were talking about you calling her while she was at the bachelorette party last night. And just... it was, I'm not going to share it on here. It's personal, but I hope you got it sorted out. Sounded like it was pretty urgent.
Yeah. How was I supposed to know she was at a bachelorette party? I hung up as soon as I could. Gianmarco.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the earliest, before we were dating. It was still during COVID and we were stoned and we were just chilling and someone called her and she went in the other room and snapped into it.
Yeah.
And spoke eloquently. And I was so high. I was like, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
But she could do it.
She can.
Yeah.
She's good.
She's very good.
But you two together, it's power couple vibes. It could get very scary very quick. Do you guys ever have to impose a no work talk rule?
It's evolved. It's evolved in terms of it was more me. I've learned to have to be better about if I have a bad set or if I'm stuck on a joke, not to bring it up.
Yeah.
But we struggle with it. We struggle with just sometimes in the morning we go on our phones so quickly.
Yeah.
And especially in LA, because we're 3 hours behind New York, so it's
everything's happened.
She turns on the phone, it's going.
Yeah.
In New York, you at least have a couple hours before things really get moving.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but we are both workaholics.
Yeah.
So that's another thing with kids. It's can you have kids when you're both addicted to work? I'd want that kid to be opening for me. I'd be...
That's a good life for the kid.
Sure. I think Nate Bargatze, all his specials now opens with his daughter, introducing him onto the stage.
Tour bus baby.
I would do pranks with the baby. I really like pranks.
What?
Whenever
What
there's
kind?
a TikTok of what's one that we looked at recently? There was one where the mother put the hand in the teddy bear, so the little girl's sitting there, and then the bear looks at her and she goes... And then,
The mother's moving the teddy bear?
Yeah, but secretly. And so the kid thinks that teddy bears come to life.
You convinced the kid the teddy bear's alive?
Oh, it's amazing.
That
And
feels-
I laughed so hard. There's a recent one where I love these little prank videos where you tell the waiter to come over and while you're in the middle of the meal, they just take your plate away.
That's kind of fun. I like that one.
And these little pranks that are innocent. It's a joy to. Or you see the one recently? It's like a barber, and as they're cutting the guy's beard, he's wearing a glove. He just puts it in their mouth and they're as he shaves, or while they're shaving, he goes, and it's so funny.
That would turn me on.
Yeah, well, I think that it does.
If someone did that to my lips while they were, I'd be like, stop.
Yeah,
I've had a sexy barber before. It was tough for me. I'm so interested in what caused you to go contemplative on that.
So I had this barber once in New York, and he was and I was young. I was in high school, and he was hyper flirtatious.
Whoa!
Just like he was just like if you had hair on your shoulder, he'd go over to your ear and go, whew. And it was
you were in high school?
Probably.
And this person is an adult?
I assume.
Yikes.
But here's what it was. It was like it was definitely inappropriate, but there was something about it that was like interesting to me.
Yeah, sure.
And I remember I went back to New York the next summer.
Yeah.
And I saw him again. Like I went back into the lion's den.
Yeah.
And I remember then it crossed a line. It crossed a line of like there was a couple he blew me a little too much.
Yeah.
And I said
Been there.
And it was just this thing where like I was like it was intriguing. I don't mind it. It's like, you know, when the yoga teacher says, raise your hand if you don't want to be touched for an adjustment. And I'm like, who's raising their hand?
Yeah. Touch
Please,
me.
touch away.
Touch me.
Touch me.
Touch me. Anybody who wants to touch me, go ahead and touch.
But then it was too far. I may have seen him 3 times actually, and then the third was too far. But there was some that I remember.
So on the 5th time, I remember I was like, this is not.
The 5th time.
So me and him start hooking up, and then I'm like, this has got to end.
But there was I just remember that haircut.
Yeah, I think I would too. It sounds like he was really inappropriate and you were like a kid, kind of.
No, but I like sometimes you go to a haircut and they do a hand massage for some reason, like at a Veda, or they do a little shoulder massage. And I like to be touched.
Do you like a massage?
Oh, I love a massage.
See, I actually, for all the joking about touch, I don't like a massage.
Really?
I've tried everything. I've gone to nice places. It's not ticklish. I'm unsettled.
If you knew them, do you think it would be? Could I give you a massage?
We could try. I've gotten massages from people I know, and it was the same deal.
What don't you like about it? Do you feel physically uncomfortable? Are you turned on?
It doesn't. No, I'm happy to be turned on. Being turned on is wonderful. I like when that happens almost any time. What it is it's supposed to relax you. You're supposed to feel better afterwards, and I feel so. I don't know what it is. I don't feel better. My body doesn't feel better. I feel more tense after every massage.
That's so interesting.
Or I feel ill. I feel like I'm not kidding. I got a massage once. Me and Zoe Lister-Jones, we were going to like Europe to like travel around for a little bit, and we landed in London. And she goes, "Hey, when I land in London, sometimes I like to go straight to a spa and get a massage. Do you want to do that while we wait for maybe a train or something?" And so she goes, "I'm going to call in the car and we'll go straight there." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is so chic and fun and cool idea." So we go straight to this really nice spa place off of like a 12-hour flight or something to London. So we get there and the woman massages me and Zoe comes out. I'm telling you, I've never seen someone look so refreshed. She looks like she just slept for 100 years. Looks beautiful, peaceful. I come out haggard, my whole body aching. I've gotten sick during the massage. Now I feel like my head hurts. I'm feeling like I think I've died.
What? I'm just imagining you on the table like tensed up.
I'm not tense. I'm loose on there.
It doesn't make.
I know it doesn't make any sense. It defies logic. I'm loose on there. I let them touch me wherever they want. They go more or less. I go whatever you want. They go more. They go less. I try some more. I try some less. They go harder. They do everything. They touch and touch and touch.
When they ask me that, like how hard, I'm like, kill me.
Kill me?
Yeah, go as hard as you can. Oh, make me. I want to feel sick.
Yeah.
Make me feel.
That. Oh well. Yeah.
Part of me is like, you need to keep trying.
I know. I do. I've tried so many times, and my sister is an esthetician, and she runs spas, and she's had a spa in Illinois that she was running for years, and she was like, you gotta come to the spa. I never made it up there, but now she's about to run a new one in Kansas City, so it seems like I'll go.
You gotta go.
I want to go because I want to support her. I'm very excited for her, but the massage stuff, I'm like, can we do something else? Maybe can I lay in mud or something?
Yeah.
Is there a mud thing? Because I know people do mud at those sometimes.
Sure.
Maybe you could put cucumbers on my eyes.
The mud stuff, you always do that, and then you go, what was this? This was bullshit.
Yeah, or mineral bath.
Mineral bath.
You could put cucumbers on my eyes or something like that.
Sure.
But you cannot massage me. Or you can, but I'm not going to enjoy it, I don't think, because I've tried.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Caleb. Just here to read some ads for you. Got my scripts right here. Sorry, it's dark in my apartment today, so it kind of looks like I'm doing this under duress. And I almost always am. Just kidding. Really, shout out to our advertisers. They make the show happen. Okay, let's just get into it. Craving your next action-packed adventure? Audible delivers thrills of every kind on your command. From electrifying suspense and daring guests to spine-tingling horror and romance in far-off realms. A title I've recently enjoyed is Some by David Eagleman. I do love that book. Some by David Eagleman. Great book. Audible lets you unleash your adventurous side with gripping titles that keep you guessing exclusive, captivating Audible originals, new releases, and bestsellers. Whether it's heart-pounding suspense like the Audible original Mad Love, a fantasy romance adventure like Onyx Storm, or a listen with the lights on epic like Stephen King's latest Never Flinch. Plus more big releases like Frida McFadden's The Tenant and Amelia Hart's The Sirens. Audible has over 1 million audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one app. It's an easy app even. One of my favorite things about the Audible app is how easy they make it to see all the audiobooks you've collected over the years in the library tab. Start listening and discover what's beyond the edge of your seat. New members can try Audible now, free for 30 days, and dive into a world of new thrills. Visit audible.com/SoTrue or text SoTrue to 500-500. That's audible.com/SoTrue or text SoTrue to 500-500. Folks, as a lifelong glasses wearer, I know all too well how big of a hassle it can be to get yourself set up with a new pair of specs. Isn't that the worst? Just because they make you see good doesn't mean they always look good, and most glasses companies could care less about fashion. That's so true about glasses companies, I've always said. Warby Parker changed all that. Warby Parker uses nothing but premium materials in each frame. Warby Parker designs every frame in-house, and our collection includes silhouettes, colors, and fits made to suit every face. Your glasses should reflect more than just sunlight. They should reflect a bit of your very own personality, and Warby Parker helps you do just that. Warby Parker offers everything you need for happier eyes. Eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. You can shop with them online, at home, and in stores. Warby Parker has over... Sorry, I'm human. Leave it in. Warby Parker has over 270 retail locations across the US and Canada where you can get styled by one of their friendly, expert advisors. Warby Parker glasses start at $95 and include prescription lenses with anti-reflective, scratch-resistant coatings. And they offer free shipping and 30-day returns. Like I said, Warby Parker has over 270 locations to help you find your next pair of glasses. You can also head over to warbyparker.com/SoTrue right now to try on any pair virtually. That's warbyparker.com/SoTrue, warbyparker.com/SoTrue. Y'all know how much I love a comfy couch or a comfy chair. Having the right furniture is a key ingredient to turning a house into a home. So I want to talk to you about my friends at Cozy, whose motto is everyday home furnishings made easy. Cozy is built for real life. Their pieces are modern, adaptable, and worry-free. And they're designed to make your day-to-day feel a little lighter, just like me. With functional innovation at every step. And if you're like me and can barely assemble a house of cards, let alone a coffee table, don't worry. Cozy provides easy assembly, easy mix and match, and versatile multifunctional style that adapts to you. Cozy helps you open up new home possibilities. Furniture shopping should be an exciting experience. Cozy helps make the whole process from shopping to purchasing to setup an absolute breeze. Cozy is dedicated to the idea of easy everything and offers modular design options so your furniture can change with each season that life brings you. Mix and match different styles and colors, swap out the old and add in the new with stylish selections and design assistants to help you as you explore new options on your personal interior design journey. Transform your living space today with Cozy. Visit cozy.com. That's COZEY.com. The home of possibilities made easy.
You know, I saw a prank once too. I didn't mean to get off of pranks. I saw a prank the other day.
Yeah.
On my phone. Baby playing with her mom, and maybe she reached for food or something, and the mom goes, I bet you want that, don't you, fat ass, to the baby. And then the joke was like that the baby looked all sad, and I was like, I don't think you should do that to the baby.
Wait, what's the prank?
Like you could tell
that's not a prank, that's just abuse.
But the baby is so little, it's not supposed to know what fat ass means, but I'm like, no, it can tell by the way you're talking to it. I was so shocked.
Yeah.
And people were in the comments like, LMAO, me when I'm trying to get that last place of pizza. So I was like, y'all have lost the plot. The baby was fat though.
There's one where you have
fat.
3 plates and they're covered.
Yeah.
And it's the mom, the baby, and the dad, traditional household.
Just the way it's supposed to be.
And basically it's revealed the mom has a cookie, the dad has no cookie, and the baby has 2 cookies. And you see if the kid, it's usually like 2 or 3, like, is he gonna give a cookie to the dad or No, you don't have any cookies. That's too bad.
At a certain point, these are the Stanford prison experiment. Like, at a certain point, we get into a level of like psychological warfare and understanding that is almost unbelievable.
It feels indicative of who you're going to be, though. If you had a kid and they said, sorry, you don't have any cookies, and I have 2.
My kid's a winner.
Maybe.
I said, that's a CEO.
Sure.
That's someone who's going to take care of me in my old age. They're going to look out for them, and then they'll look out for the rest of us. You have to get your 2 cookies to build a life where you can provide cookies for others. You give all your cookies away right at once.
Yeah, that's an optimistic look, or it's a serial killer. It's a thief.
No, obviously it's concerning if the kid doesn't give a cookie.
I would want, yeah, and then what do you do? What do? You try to teach them ethics. And some kids do, some kids don't. It's like the marshmallow experiment. I always like that one.
Yeah.
You know that one?
No.
You leave a kid with a marshmallow and you say, hey, don't eat this marshmallow. I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
If you don't eat it, I'm going to come back. I'll give you another marshmallow. So you have 2.
Yeah.
And then they leave, and like some kids, they wait 2 seconds and they just snap and they can't wait. And it's about like, do you have the patience? Can you reward yourself more later?
That doesn't feel like it's morality, though, right? You don't think there's morality in the
it's
marshmallow
more just like,
trick.
do you have the ability to like think more about the future?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the kid with the 1 marshmallow is happier.
Well, that's the question. Do you eat the marshmallow or wait for 2? Because in the waiting, they could have been lying to you, or you could never get the 2. Who knows what might happen?
Sure.
You might wait so long you don't even want marshmallows anymore. But if you really want 1 marshmallow and there's one in front of you, there's something to be said.
It's an imperfect experiment. All those experiments, those psychological experiments.
Experiments, yeah. The TikTok content, yeah.
Well, they used to. I mean, probably TikTok content now, but they used to be. There's something that's happened recently in psychology. What I'm told is that they tried to recreate a lot of the classic psychology experiments, and only like 1/3 of them held up.
Why?
So many of these old kind of early psychological experiments, they weren't that accurate. They didn't test enough. So a lot of our like base knowledge, our Malcolm Gladwell type stuff, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
But we all still think it's kind of true. The same way we go, oh, red wine's better for you. And it's like, it's not.
Yeah.
That was a study that was popular once.
It's not.
And now, and I still, even if I'm out, even though I know it, I'm like, oh, the red wine. I'm
Yeah.
going healthy tonight.
Really? I didn't know that it was supposed to be better for you.
60 Minutes did a big thing on it, and it was a faulty study.
It makes sense that the people in power have for all their on this side, that side, on all the sides, for all their own little special interests and reasons, they have allowed themselves to degrade the public trust. And they chipped away at the public trust because it was going to help us get health care, it was going to help us get lower taxes, or it was going to whatever. And they justified it all along the way, Democrats, Republicans alike. And then now no one believes anything, and there's no ultimate truth.
Like my sister, I guess she went to some dentist where like, you know, they're like, you got to get this electronic toothbrush, this one. And it's because they get a kickback from that particular company.
Yeah.
And she goes to someone else and they're like, you cannot use that electronic toothbrush. And they're both getting kickbacks. And you understand why she, as a consumer, goes, fuck doctors.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's where it gets to.
Yeah.
I hate my doctor.
What? You're.
I asked him. I said I needed sleep. I wanted sleep medication.
I said I need sleep. He said no. He's in with Big Awake.
And
he's in the pocket of Big Awake.
And I asked for Xanax. I was going to Australia.
Yeah.
And I wanted just to sleep on the flight. And I had an Ambien prescription. But he said, before we talk medication, this is words, he said, have you tried giving your brain permission to fall asleep?
Have you?
Well, it was pathetic. I tried it that night. I was in bed. I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Did not work.
Really?
No.
I wanted it to work.
No.
Because that would have been so cool if you were like, this
works.
quack, and then it worked immediately.
Nothing works except for hard drugs.
Really? For you to sleep?
Oh, yeah.
You think slurping on those might be part of it?
Maybe, but no.
No.
It's general anxiety. It'll
Yeah.
happen any moment.
I gotta say, I'm not even a doctor, and if a guy like you walked into my office and said, I need Xanax, I'd say, right away, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you move with a kinetic energy that suggests a need for Xanax. Mm-hmm. I say, if this guy tells me he needs Xanax, I believe just by his gait.
Yeah.
Just by the way he strolled in here. And it's not a bad thing. It's just you operate at even seeing you on stage, I'm like, I'd dose that guy.
Sure.
I'd give you some time off.
Why I got it eventually.
You got the Xanax.
Not from it, but I got a referral to a psychologist. Is that the one who gives prescriptions?
Oh, I believe it. Psychiatrist.
And this is where you go. Oh, I'm paying you an absurd amount for this appointment, and you will give me whatever I ask for.
That's the deal, yeah.
And to really witness it, I asked, because it was for Adderall. I was getting Adderall and Xanax. I was getting the full slate.
Jesus Christ.
And I asked, I said, hey, after taking Adderall, is it okay to smoke pot? Like, just in case.
Yeah.
And she said, we're on Zoom. She said, let me Google it real quick. And I was like,
Not
Google it.
Not Google it.
She Googled it in front of me and
Not
read
Google
whatever
it.
the AI synopsis was.
Yeah.
And it is safe according to Reddit.
Yeah.
But it's you just go, you see how people eventually go, all of this is broken.
Yeah.
I don't trust it anymore.
I'm scared of all pills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take anything. I
Really?
have horrible dentist anxiety because I've had some bad dental experiences. I had a dentist who couldn't figure out how to get me numb and operated on me anyway once. And ever since then, which is of course like literally something they do in movie for torture.
How old were you?
This is a couple years ago. This is like 5 years ago.
Oh my God, why you didn't
I did, and he was like, yeah, we've given you 14 shots, and we can't get it numb, but the work needs to get done. So he just did it anyway. It was horrible, and so I have really bad dentist anxiety now. And then I found a really great dentist that I love, who like can get me numb, etc. And he gave me, but when I come in, I'm shaking, sweating, like like my whole body is
Really?
And I have a high tolerance for pain, genuinely, but I truly, when I go to the dentist, I'm like shaking, and because it's like my body remembers.
Yeah.
And he gave me a prescription for Klonopin for when I come in, and I just can't take it.
Were you scared it's gonna?
I just don't. Pills freak me out. When I got knee surgery, I didn't take the pain pills they gave me. I just took Advil.
Lean in, try it.
I'm
They're
scared
great.
to try. That's the thing.
Were you scared you're gonna you'll have a bad reaction to the pill itself?
I don't like not feeling in control, and I am scared that I will like it a lot and want to do it forever.
I get that fear, but do you have an addictive personality?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Anything I like needs to be happening pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
That's why I didn't smoke. I didn't smoke weed until I was like 27. Because I was scared that I would, and actually I've been pretty good with weed. I have a pretty good relationship with it, but I was scared that I would just have to start doing it for every single thing, like to wake up, to go to sleep, to eat.
Yeah. I've never been nervous because I just don't have that. It's always like I started taking this Adderall, and it was so strong. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like this is crazy. I got this at CVS.
Yeah.
I should have gotten this behind CVS. You know, like I was tearing up. I felt like I wanted to cry, but like in a happy way.
Adderall did this?
Oh my God.
Oh, see, now I'm interested.
And I think I needed to do the slow release because I basically stopped taking it because it just felt like, oh, on Tuesday, am I ready to get high as fuck?
Yeah.
And I was supposed to. I got this to help like it work ton.
On Adderall.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know it could make you happy. I thought it made you study.
That's what I thought. I mean,
Yeah.
it just made me really hopeful and like
What?
it didn't focus me at all, to be honest.
It's a hope pill?
It more just made me go like, I got it all. Oh my God, there's so much in front of me to get done, and it's going to be great, and I can do it.
No one's ever made me want to take Adderall until this moment. And now I'm like, I might need one today.
I got them with me.
What are they? What do they do? Their speed? What are they?
It's speed. Oh, it's 100% speed. It's what I thought cocaine would be. I only did cocaine twice.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. My heart beat just too fast. That's all I felt, and I couldn't get it up.
Anything that's too good to be true, though. You tell me Adderall makes you feel hopeful, and I love feeling hopeful, so I'm interested. But I'm like, what's the side effect? What's the crash? What cancer is it giving me? What,
Yeah.
What neuron is it firing too hard that eventually it won't hit anymore, and then I won't be able to get it again?
Tova says to me though, whenever I go like, I'm like, oh, I'm worried this is gonna give me cancer. I have cancer. She goes, well, we're all gonna get cancer eventually. There's
That's
stuff in
true.
everything. We're
Yeah.
getting cancer. Like that's her version of hope.
That's how I got
is
out of
that it's
hypochondria.
hopeless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was a really bad hypochondriac, and then I just started telling myself, everything is killing you. Move on. You have everything. Yes, my big thing was blood clots. I was like, you're gonna get blood clots. It's just gonna happen.
I called my dad, and he's like, he's 72. He's always getting tests for something, and it's impossible to splice the hypochondria versus the reasonable concerns of a 72-year-old.
When you get old, yeah.
I call and I go, oh, you had a test last week that you were stressed about. How'd it go? And he goes, I have cancer. And I go, oh, fuck. Okay, so what's the next steps? He goes, well, I have another test this week that will determine if I have cancer. And I go, I don't know what to do with any information anymore until you're dead.
Yeah.
Until that point.
when I see you on the slab and I have death certificate in hand, that's the next time I'll trust your diagnoses.
Yeah. If he's like about to take his final breath, he'll be like, I meant final breath. One day I will take it.
Yeah.
And it's coming up.
Yeah. Moms, I don't know if your mom's like this, but my mom is the opposite. My mom will call me and I'll be like, hey, how's it going? She's like, oh, good. Went to work. I had a nice salad today. I got that tumor removed. And then I go, what? What tumor? She goes, oh, I've had cancer for a couple months, but yeah, I didn't want to bother you, but they took it out and they think it's fine. But I'm going to go hang out with your Aunt Gina tonight. Just like we'll drop it in nowhere. Some crazy harrowing medical thing she went through. Didn't want to bother you. I'd like to know. Thank you.
No, that sounds like heaven to me.
Sounds
like heaven
that's
to me.
Scary. That's scary behavior.
I know every medical appointment of my dad's, it's a nightmare. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's stressful. My dad's always been a hypochondriac, and it's just he never dealt with it, and now we, his kids, have to just like kind of hear about it and don't know what to take seriously or not.
Yeah. Hypochondria, yeah, got myself out of it by telling myself it's going to happen. Kind of similar thing with...
What would you fixate on? Like I certainly, when I was like single, STD hypochondria, like that was where it would always be. It'd be like, oh, is that a bump?
I never worried about STDs because I, just as a gay guy, you know, protection was from the very beginning like a very serious thing.
Me too.
But you were worried anyway.
I've always been frankly shocked at the number of people not using protection. I was like, oh, I thought we all were.
Yeah.
I thought we all were doing this.
Yeah.
And I hear my friend, I hooked up with someone last night. I was like, do you have a condom? Nah. And I'm like, are you crazy?
That was me in college when my friends were like, oh yeah, I hooked up with this person last night and we did it with that one. I was like, yeah, whoa, I can't believe you're so casually telling me that. That feels insane to me.
Yeah.
If it's like, especially a stranger, if it's like someone you're in a relationship with, it's this, that, or the other, but a stranger is nuts to me. But my hypochondria always, it always centered around things I certainly almost couldn't know, like blood clots or cancer.
Sure.
And the real thing of it was like, oh, if I went to the doctor right now and got every single test run and they found it, they could save my life. But if I don't, it'll get too far gone. And it was always that thing of like early detection and being like, if you just check all the time, nothing can get past it. And it's like, right, but that's not feasible. And also there's something deeper going on. And what deeper was I was scared of death.
Sure.
But the fear of death was causing all my problems when I was younger. It was causing my depression, my ideation, kind of like, oh, you're not going to get me, I'll get me first. And then my hypochondria. And then once you just go, oh, you're going to die someday, don't worry, it'll happen. Then it kind of
When was this? Because in college was my like big like thinking about death.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
And I think if I could go back, the only advice I'd give to myself would be like, stop thinking about it. Like truly, that's all I've come up with. There are moments, especially when I used to get high, it would happen, and now truly, if I feel my mind going there, I'm like,
Same.
And that's it.
I have one every.
That's my religion.
Maybe every 7 months, I will get struck with a random moment of like thinking about my mortality in a genuine way, and I literally just go, and I just move on because I'm like, there's no point. But I do think I wouldn't take it back because I do think if I could just force the knowledge of mortality on a lot of these psychopaths who are running around in our culture right now, if I could force that on them for a second, I think the whole world would be a better place.
But that's what I feel like. I feel like whether as Joe Biden not retiring or that billionaire who's trying to live forever, where I guess you see a world without. You start going, oh, maybe religion was necessary to give people some kind of hope because they're not confronting dying.
Yeah.
And so they just want to keep going. If I keep working, I can't die.
Yeah.
And it's awful, the consequences of it.
Yeah.
That billionaire guy, I think about, because I'm like, if I had a lot of money, certainly the hypochondria, why not have, if you're Jeff Bezos, why not have a doctor who does a little check once a day?
A lot of them, I think, do.
I'm sure they do.
President certainly does. I mean, they get checked on all the time. And
when that guy who wants to live forever dies, sometime in this week, it's gonna be hilarious, and it's unfortunate for him.
Funniest thing imaginable is that guy, while filming a video about how he's gonna live forever, just gets hit by a bus. It's the funniest thing imaginable. There's no, like, that's the thing is he's like, oh, I'm making my genetics, this, that, and the other. You're going to die, brother. It's going to happen.
I remember being younger and thinking to myself, well, surely technology, they'll be able to reverse aging by the time I'm around, getting old.
Oh, you thought that?
That's what I would tell myself when I was like in high school, when I had those fears.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Your mortality.
My mortality. Like it was when I saw scary movies as a kid.
No.
That's what they triggered. Was seeing. I watched Final Destination in high school.
Fuck.
With this girl that I had a crush on, and she like came over. We started watching Final Destination because people would say, "Oh, you want to hook up with someone? Like watch a scary movie," and then
not that kind of scary. Yeah.
Not with me. Like maybe the other way. Not with me. And I went to my dad. I believe I went to his room and I said, "Hey, can you like count to 10? I want you to come back in the room and go. You're not allowed to watch this movie." And take it out of the VCR. And he did. My dad walked in and was like, "Is this Final Destination?" He knew it too quick, like he did a little too fast. He didn't like wait to like see it.
Turn off that Final Destination, son. You're not allowed by my rules. That's like a horrible scene, yeah.
And because I truly saw that first person die and the concept of death chasing after you, and I was like, I cannot watch this movie. Horrified.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. The horror movie to hook up pipeline is good.
I've never understood. I accepted people like watching horror movies. My little sister would watch them to go to bed. And I go, our brains work differently and I'll never understand what you're getting out of this. Life is so scary to me. I don't know why I would introduce the concept of a girl coming out of a TV on top of cancer and dementia.
Yeah.
I got enough on my plate.
I had one straight guy friend in high school. We had begun to like wrestle, and then it kind of turned into a hookup. Okay, we were like wrestling. We were like watching a movie, and then we were like wrestling, like kidding around, and then it turned into a hookup. Okay, and it was one of the coolest things at that time that had ever happened to me. So
what kind of? Who was winning? Like, was there? How does a wrestling evolve into that? Were you doing like WWE style?
Everyone was winning.
Sure.
No, we were just like we were just like fooling around, and then we were just like, I don't know how else to say it other than
paint the picture. I want to see. Was it a headlock?
Kinda.
You give a kiss.
Okay, no. No, it just kind of we're like messing around, we're like wrestling around, and then someone gets hard, and then it turns into a hookup.
Is that what happened though? You're like. You got the headlock.
Well, I wanted it to be a hookup the whole time because I'm secretly gay. I don't know what
so
his
all your
deal
moves
was.
are very crotch based.
Mine. When things are being touched, I'm not getting upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, oh, this is the key to hooking up with guys. So then every time I was hanging out with someone, I was like, y'all want to wrestle? I was like, wrestling is the hookup move. It was like the horror movie, but it was wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That was the thing, is being like, if we wrestle, someone's gonna get hard and it's gonna turn into a hookup.
I wrestled a friend in middle school and I just accidentally made him cry.
Oh, you hurt him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not fun.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he was trying to hook up and I misread.
Maybe, you never know. Boys are weird.
Sure.
But sometimes it is just about hey, I had plenty of wrestling that just ended in someone losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I think about those WWF, WWE guys. Like they must be a lot of hooking up
With each other?
Yeah, wrestling is very sexual.
Yeah. Also, there's among a lot of those guys, any of the like hyper testosterone-y masculine guys that are obsessed with body. I don't know how you could constantly be sizing up your own body in comparison to other men's bodies and admiring other men's bodies and not, sometimes dipping into a little bit of sex.
Sure.
And that's cool. That's maybe one of the coolest things those guys do. You sleep with another guy, you like the way his traps look or whatever the fuck. I don't know what those freaks get into.
I wonder if they're hooking up and it leads into wrestling.
Yeah.
It goes back.
They start with sex and then they're like,
it starts gay, goes back to straight. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe, and that could be beautiful.
That sounds wonderful. I'm very supportive.
What do you? Okay, you're not a hypochondriac. You still fear of death still within you? Yay or nay?
Yay, but so much more controlled. I was so obsessed with like trying to find some kind of answer.
Yeah.
I would like look up all these, whatever scientists thought there might be a God. I remember when
you were searching for the proof of God. That was one of the yeah, of course.
Absolutely. I was looking, here's what it was. I'm a skeptical person by nature. And I was looking for some explanation that didn't make me go, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And I remember the day in college where Stephen Hawking would always refer to like, and by the way, I'm too dumb to understand any concept Stephen Hawking is talking about.
Yeah.
But he used to be like, oh, we see the fingerprints of God. That would be the metaphor that he used. And then I remember it was on Yahoo News. it was like Stephen Hawking says, "There's no God." And I'm like, why did you have to say it, Stephen?
Yeah.
But I remember it sending like oh, I thought this guy believed in God and he was smart, so that meant it was all fine, and just being shaken to my core.
Yeah.
Like the proof had been taken from me.
Yeah.
I remember like looking up, it was just anyone I admired, if they were an atheist, I'd go to their Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And if it was just an actor whose work I thought was good, I'd go, oh, they're an atheist and they're a good actor. That must mean they know something. And I wanted it to be real so bad.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think it was a mix of like getting older and just accepting that no person had answers, number one. Number two, no one was like, everyone was compromised. Everyone had, their belief in God stemmed from some childhood experience, whether positive or negative.
Yeah.
No one is to be trusted.
I was very attracted to certainty when I was younger. And so Christianity I latched onto for a while because they were certain. And they're like, this is definitely what happens. And I found that very attractive and alluring. And then when I figured, at least for me, when I decided that's all bullshit, these people are nuts, the fanatical Christians that were dead set on telling you, like the evangelicals, I was like, nuts. And then I got very attracted to militant atheism. And I did that for a while.
You did like Richard Dawkins?
Oh, dude. You have.
I would love to have known you in your militant atheist years.
Fucking annoying.
How would you bring it up? Like if people said bless you, you'd be like,
it didn't matter. I would do anything. I would do anything to bring it up. And I was on Facebook. I was heavy on Facebook, sharing like, I remember specifically there's this one image I must have shared 15 to 20 times in my life.
Ricky Gervais with the
basically it was a bunch of atheists. Ricky Gervais was certainly on there, George Carlin, like a bunch of people, like a bunch of their headshots, like you're talking about, like a bunch of different like religious figures, actors, comedians, and it was all their headshots put into this little square graphic, and then the text was like, if all atheists go to hell, I'll be in pretty good company. And I sharing that on Facebook where all my like former youth group friends were, I was like, eat that, bitch. Like I loved it. And then I got to the point where I'm pretty much at now where I'm like, actually anybody pitching certainty, atheists, Christians, like Muslims, super religious Jewish people, like anybody saying that they certainly know what's going on, I'm like, you do your thing, but I cannot be involved. We're living in post-truth. Nothing's true anymore. Now it's all just takes. Everything is just, nobody believes, there's hardly anything that you can get most people to go, yeah, that's true.
And I think we also live in a place where like no one can apologize without then being defeated by it. Like, I think it would be great if, if Fauci or the government said, hey, remember when you wiped off your groceries? That was a pain in the ass. And we found out later, if they came forward and said, we thought that might help. And later we said it's probably not that important.
Yeah.
But they can't ever like cop to errors because then people go, well then fuck you, you failed. But then if no one ever apologizes or takes accountability, then people just start getting resentful and write you off. We live in a very unhealthy time, and I don't know if there's any way back.
Yeah.
I feel pretty hopeless.
Well, there'll be truth on my commune. I don't feel hopeless, actually.
You don't feel hopeless?
I really don't. I've said
think
that on here.
You know how one of the theories of the reason there's no alien life is that intelligent life always reaches a stage where it destroys itself.
Yeah.
That feels, that resonates with me in terms of with social media and the ways we've become, our information has broken down.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I can see us destroying ourselves, and that's why when another humanity, they're alone in the universe.
I have real doubt and troubles believing in our systems of information. I have real doubt and trouble believing in maybe the systems of democracy that are supposed to be acting. I think I know where all that. I think I have ideas about how we could handle that and who is the problem, rich people. But most of all, hope for me comes from people. Most of my interactions every day are mostly fine. Most people are nice and,
for sure,
and normal, and I think most people are not hateful. I don't think most people in this country or elsewhere are bad or ill-intentioned. I think most people are pretty much just trying to get through the day and have fun with their friends and family, and that gives me hope that we can figure something out. I don't know if we will.
I agree with you. It's the rich people, but it just, no one seems to be doing anything about it.
Yeah, I was going to, and then I started making some money. And now I'm like, those guys aren't so bad. I like hanging out with them. They're nice.
Are you going to have Elon on the pod?
He's scheduled.
Yeah. He's next.
We're going to move that couch out so he can just sort of jump in place over there. God, I hate that stupid bitch. His whole arc in the whole thing is just like, it's beyond cartoonish at this point.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know if I hate him. I don't know. There's nothing. I just love the guy. the video game thing, it's always like you want to be like, even that alone, the paying someone else to play video games for you and like claiming that it was you playing them.
Yeah.
To me, like that's enough that if that was a friend of mine, I'd go, we need to stop hanging out.
Yeah.
That is, there was a guy I went to middle school with, and this was when Pokemon cards were super popular. He pretended like he had these never before seen Pokemon cards at home, like Pokemon we had never heard of. If you give Eevee this stone, it becomes this thing that no one's ever, and we believed it. And we were young enough that we couldn't quite look it up. And every day he'd say, I'm going to bring it tomorrow. And every day he'd say, my mom said I couldn't bring it. It's too precious.
He's a genius.
And
my mom said I have to keep it in the glass case where it lives.
Yeah.
It's too precious and valuable to her.
And that was enough to be like, oh, you shouldn't be in charge of slashing government programs.
Yeah. To me, the craziest thing of it all is that the idea that I don't understand how we got to this point where working people believe that guys like that give a fuck about them. I just don't understand that. I think it's just the belief of surely if they got this money, they must be good. And sometimes I want to say is like, do you know someone who makes a little bit more money than you and you think they're full of shit? Yeah.
And you think they're an idiot and
Yeah.
you think there's no way they deserve that. Okay, so you can understand it doesn't correlate to the person's worth. Now just take that example and go, it can happen at this level.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you just got to meet him. If anything, the biggest solution is to like have lunch with Elon. Just go have lunch. I think if you have lunch one-on-one.
But he every single day talks in public and is so annoying, so uncool, so like.
But the spin is so good. They go, but he made that car. To them, he made that car in his backyard.
Yeah.
That's how they perceive it. I remember it was Bill Burr always had a good joke about Steve Jobs, because I feel like Steve Jobs was one of these early people where it was like he made the iPhone.
Yeah.
And Bill Burr's point was like he pointed to a box and said, put 1,000 songs in there.
Yeah.
And someone else did that.
Yeah.
And then we think of him as he made the thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's that the spin is just so effective that people look at this guy and they go, he did all these things. He made the rockets.
Yeah.
He made them.
Same with Trump, though. All of it doesn't make any sense. They're all grifters. Trump's a horrible businessman. The only thing he was ever good at was exploiting people. We have so much evidence, and it's crazy to me how many things we know about him that just don't factor anymore because it didn't work. Like the hits didn't work, so now we just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We have so much examples of him just straight up not paying contractors, hardworking people that like built things for him.
Can I tell you something?
Ah.
I went to a rally.
A Trump rally? Mm-hmm. Where?
It was 2 days before the election, maybe
The
3 days.
vaccine stuff is adding up now, by the way.
I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it was like 3 days before the election, and I got a notification.
You're gonna get cooked for that pronunciation of Raleigh, by the way. North Carolina heads in the chat are gonna come for you, just so you know.
Raleigh, North Carolina, and I got like a Twitter notification that was like Trump rally, and it was the city next door, and this was like in that moment where I was like, I think it's done. I think it's over. He's gonna lose, and this is gone. I'm not gonna pretend like I like knew what was coming. So I go to this rally, and I want to go like undercover, so to speak. You know, sometimes I'm recognized. I don't think this is my circle per se.
Yeah.
But all I brought with me were musical theater T-shirts.
It's not a good
all
cover,
I had,
yeah.
and so like I picked Oklahoma. It felt the closest.
Yeah.
You know, Trump likes cats. Apparently, I should have gone with cats.
Yeah.
But so we went there. We got a hat there. You know,
You got a Make
God's
America Great
gunning
Again hat?
country. No, it was like a little bit like it was a cooler, like more alty version.
Do you want us to put this out?
Because I was curious. I thought I was like doing what, like, you know, I was like, maybe I'll like see something. I'll learn something. I'll see an insight to why this thing is continuing.
Yeah.
So,
I was like pretty on board until the hat.
until the hat. What was you want me to go in wearing? What is so true? A podcast hat?
Ideally, yeah. But no, I think just no hat would have been fine too. Buying merch is crazy work.
It was not the official merch. It was a local person, so I was helping small businesses.
Local vendor. It was a small business owner in the parking lot.
And I just remember first it was way smaller than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It was way smaller. He was very late.
Yeah.
And it was like when you see this person like in person 100 feet away from you, you go, this guy is old.
Yeah.
And he was doing, 3 sets that day, essentially.
Yeah.
And he flies in. They played The Undertaker's theme music as he got out of the plane. And I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
The Undertaker? It was like ominous. Like that was the vibe. It was
Yeah.
like this, like, here he comes to destroy whatever. And he went up there and he was like, people started leaving after 10 minutes because it was so boring.
Yeah.
It was so not engaged. And that's when I thought, oh, it's done. I had this crazy sense of optimism about Kamala winning because I think people were leaving. He didn't have the juice. He was talking about lowering grocery prices where they were selling jerk chicken for like $45.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't you lower the prices of this jerk chicken to start off?
Yeah. Why don't you lower the price of these mega hats? I spent a fortune. Yeah.
And then I left, and I left feeling like, oh, it's done. It was that same confidence I had the day I voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016 when I voted, and I was like, oh, thank God this is over.
Yeah.
And I fell for it again.
Well, he won by very unstatistical margins in a lot of swing states. So who knows what happened
But he
there?
won North Carolina. I said, well, he's not winning North Carolina. I thought it was just shocking how much of a non-event it was and how old. So old.
That is strange, isn't it? That he's so boring and it seemed so bad for him, and yet he won every single swing state by like a pretty big margin after talking about stolen elections for a couple of years. That is interesting.
I think it just goes back to it's the hatred. They did a good job branding or collecting the idea of the woke person, and this is not about anything other than hurting that person, and people wanted it.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what happened? Who knows what happened in those?
Who'd you vote for?
Who'd I vote for?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who we individually voted for.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not
it's
like he
about-
won by one vote.
It's so much
you know?
bigger. Not in Missouri where I vote. It's so much bigger than that. But of course I voted my conscience and I voted for change.
But when they worry about a third term or whatever, I'm like he's older than you think.
Yeah.
Like you really seeing the highlights.
I think the third term thing is genuinely so horrifying.
It's horrifying, but I really don't think I think Father Time will save us from this
It's
one.
not about whether or not he serves the third term or even tries for it. It's about him. We have a United States president. This is another one of those things that I'm like, I feel like I'm fucking like living out or something. Like, am I like Democracy Now or something that I am like, we have an American president talking about genuinely wanting to explore options for a third term, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, that's part of it now. That is fucking insane.
Sure.
That is fucking insane. This person is fucking insane. I feel crazy.
My only hope is that there's a big chunk of it tied to this one individual has so captured some version of America, and no one is going to fill in for this person. This person has a charisma. I understand. I just said that he was, watching him live. It was like watching like a Las Vegas comic who was like done,
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, we're a celebrity-based culture. This person had a unique celebrity that's been cooking since the 90s. My dad had The Art of the Deal on his shelf.
Yeah.
I watched The Apprentice season 1 when I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Like there's no one's gonna fill in for this person, and it will fracture and break down once he passes away.
Yeah.
That's a hope that I do have.
God. You remember the way LA felt when he lost to Biden? Or you weren't in LA?
I wasn't in LA.
Oh God, there were parties in the streets.
Oh no,
we broke cars.
Tova filmed it. There was dancing.
Oh, there were
people
cars
cheered.
breaking. We were
Because it was delayed. Remember, it was
Yes.
but then eventually one day someone finally called it.
Yeah. Oh, people were embracing strangers. It was beautiful. And I think the day that he leaves
You remember
us,
the day he got COVID? We were all still in lockdown, but I was calling my family.
Yeah.
I called my sister. I was
he's old and it's doing it to old people. He's kind of fat too.
we're reading tweets to each other, just like, this is amazing.
Yeah. The day he leaves us is going to be a really special day. It's going to be I want nothing to do with it.
If one motherfucker, and I have a couple friends who do this, goes, guys, we shouldn't celebrate someone dying. I'm going to go,
You can die
shut
too.
the fuck
Shut up. It's fun.
Shut up.
Shut up. It's fun. Anyway, Gianmarco, what's so true to you?
I was thinking about this. Good.
You're bounds ahead of most of our guests already. You're ahead by a country mile if you've thought about it at all before walking in here.
So I've been thinking a lot about one of my openers on the road. His name's Liam Nelson, a good comedian, and he's 7 feet tall. And
Why would you take him out?
Take him out
Why would you take him on the road?
on the road. I know
It's got to be logistically complicated stuffing him in places.
it's flying's brutal for him. Sometimes with the bathroom, he has to keep the door open if he has to.
Yeah. Sell him to the circus. Why are you taking him on the road?
I mean, what am I but a traveling circus?
Yeah, right.
That's the life.
You're right. My bad. Yeah.
So when I'm with him, I really experience how many people have to ask him how tall he is.
Yeah.
And the ways that they do it, and there's a lot of like, you must hate it when people ask you this.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get asked this all the time. I'm sure if someone asks you today, you're going to put a bullet in your brain. But
How tall are you?
And
Yeah.
I go, how we've lost manners.
Yeah.
We've lost manners. And I don't know when I was taught that. I don't know what, like, whether it was a kid's TV show or school or my parents just said, like, don't, or mind your business, some version of mind your business.
Yeah.
But everyone, the older guys, they're the worst. This one guy came up to him recently and he goes, and just sits there waiting for him to have to initiate.
7 foot.
Yeah, 7 feet. And you know, he deals with it, and he has like cards now sometimes that he gives, and he's like, you know, it's a good way. It kind of ends the conversation.
Yeah.
Just giving a card, and he's like, follow me, you know, or whatever. He's trying to get something out of it.
Yeah.
But I remember one guy said, I know what 4-letter word you like. D-U-C-K. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Leave us alone.
That kind of rocks. That was a banger.
It's everywhere. It's everyone, and
Yeah.
it's older people. It's not the kids usually. It's older people, and I just
they're
go,
scared.
how do you not have it in your mind to go, oh, if I want to ask him that, how many people have wanted to ask him that and have?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Why is he doing comedy and not playing basketball for real?
Okay, he has Mar fans.
Oh, well, what's that? That sounds bad. Or
Mar
is that
fans.
good?
No, I mean it's fuck. He said it so many times.
Fuck.
But basically, like, you know, there's hard stuff.
Oh.
Where you can't do super physical activities.
Yeah.
Organs are longer and stretched out.
Organs are
and-
longer?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fuck, I forget the word. He always says it. But a lot of people, if you're tall, I was checked for Marfans, because if you're tall or lanky, they go, maybe it's because you have Marfans.
You can't have it if you're fat.
I think you can.
Do I have
but
it?
I'm not a medical professional.
Do you think I have it?
Is Mercury in retrograde?
It might be. You never know. You have to check.
Then
If you're feeling odd, you might be.
Yeah, then you might have Marfans.
Check on it.
New hypochondria.
Marfans, I don't know what that is, but I wish that he could play basketball. That's so sad.
Yeah, I think he did it like at some point as a young kid. You're tall, and they're like, I mean, they threw me in basketball because I was tall and I was terrible.
To have to be a comedian when you're 7 feet tall, I'm shouting out Liam. He's strong. He's really strong and beautiful. Marfan most commonly affects the heart, eyes, blood vessels, and skeleton. They're tall and thin with unusually long arms. It can be mild or severe. Cool. So, well, shout out to Liam.
Osama bin Laden had Marfans.
He did. Was he tall?
Oh yeah, he was very tall.
Oh wow, I didn't know that about him.
Jonathan Larson, who wrote Rent, he had Marfans, and he actually died because whatever happened with his heart, they didn't know he had Marfans, so they treated him in like the incorrect way.
Yeah.
And that's why he died, because
They treated him like a regular guy whose liver was normal length. Chance printed your acting resume for me.
My college acting resume. Oh, thank God. Let's go over it.
I don't want to talk about that. I want to do a segment with you. I want to do true or false with you.
Okay.
And I want you to know that I'm going to read you 15 statements, and you're going to tell me as quickly as you can if you think that each thing I said was true or false. If you get 10 or more correct, Gianmarco, we're going to give you $50 US. It's kind of big.
Did I do this last time?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's done it.
Did I win?
I don't remember.
I don't remember getting money.
You ready? Wow. The human skull is made
By the way,
of...
I was on stage recently, and someone heckled me, and they said, when is Caleb coming to Indianapolis?
First of all, I just went to Indianapolis, and second of all, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't yell out about me at someone else's show. I don't like that. I've gotten multiple reports from friends about stuff like that. That does not please me. Listen to the show. Enjoy.
The idea that I'd call you and be like, hey, you got to come out to St. Louis.
Hey, I don't know.
You got to make the trip.
You got to get to Muncie quick. They need you over there.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel? Because people always want you to tour more, and they get frustrated. They want you to come. And so they take it out on your fellow comedian friends.
Well, I would say stop taking it out on my fellow comedian friends, and also you're probably going to stay frustrated. I'm on tour right now, and it's a beautiful, amazing tour. It's wonderful. We're playing these incredible theaters. It's so nice. They're all sold out. You couldn't ask, people who want to tour, you couldn't ask for a better situation than mine. I'm ready to quit.
You should do it in Kansas City, like a Las Vegas residency in Kansas City. You'll help their economy. You can have, share the money. And that's the only place to see you live, and people will travel from all over the world to do it.
That's a beautiful idea.
I think you should.
The human skull is made of 29 different bones.
True.
That is true. The lifespan of a taste bud is 9 months.
True.
False. It's about 10 days. Baby bunnies are called pups.
False.
False. Kittens. Ray Liotta graduated from the University of Miami.
True.
True. Scorpions can glow.
True.
True. The largest desert in the world is in Antarctica.
False.
It's true.
Fuck.
Georgetown Day School's mascot is the wasp.
False.
False. It's
hoppers.
The grasshopper. Earth sky is purple. Human eyes just see it as blue.
True.
True. There are more chickens than people in the world.
False.
It's true. Don Knotts' real first name was Edward.
True.
False. It was Jesse. The Sega Dreamcast is older than the Nintendo 64.
True.
That is false.
Oh.
Kangaroos can't walk backwards.
True.
True. Mars is the closest planet to Earth.
False.
False. It's Venus. The Monopoly guy wears a monocle.
True.
False.
Damn it.
Camels have straight spines.
True.
That is true. How do you do?
9.
Oh. What a horrible... 9 is the worst one. 9 is the worst number. And the best number, frankly, is 10. To get exactly 10 is great. 9 is the worst. Anything over 10 is boring. You're a know-it-all. Anything under 9 is humiliating. You're a moron.
Yeah.
9 and 10 are the only two numbers that count in this game.
Good.
In my opinion. Gianmarco, it was a pleasure to have you. Do you want to tell the people where to find you, etc.?
Yeah, I'm on tour. I'm going to be in Europe. I'm going to be all over America in cities that Caleb would only fly over. I'll be there. And then listen to my podcast, The Downside. We've had Caleb on 3 times.
Looking for a 4th?
I would love to have you for a 4th.
Looking for a 4th?
We'll make it happen.
Has it been 3?
Yeah, it has. We did one, just you and me, way back in LA. Just you and me.
One in LA, and then one in your current studio, or 2 in your current studio in New York?
I think 2 in different iterations of that studio.
Anyway, looking for a 4th.
I would love to have
me on. Anything else you want to tell them?
Gianmarco Soresi, The Downside Podcast.
That's
all
I
do.
We love you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We did it.
That was a Headgum podcast.